Good afternoon. Today is the 10th of October, and it's time to take our monthly look at the top 10 best-selling cars of September 2024. So you might say not a lot has changed in the last year in terms of new car registrations in this country. I will call them sales or registrations. I know the terms aren't exactly the same, but I tend to use them interchangeably in these videos. It's just the way that it is. So I can see that the sales are quite healthy, and they are really very, very similar to last year, about 1% up. The thing is, if I look at the last, I don't know, sort of 15 years of sales on this chart at the Society of Motor Manufacturing Traders website, I can see that actually we are still below 2008. In fact, we're below 2020. We're below pretty much, well, most years. Obviously, in 2021, 2022, and 2023, it was all a lot lower. So we are improving, but we're not quite where we were in, say, 2016, where in September, about 450,000 cars registered. Last month, it was only about 275,000. So, it is increasing, but maybe they're just not registering as many new cars as they used to anymore. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll look at the sort of power source mix, bearing in mind that for 2024, the manufacturers in this country have to register a minimum of 22% zero emission vehicles. That includes plug-in hybrids with a range of, I think it's like 90 miles, but very, very few plug-in hybrids actually counters that. So it's mainly just battery electric cars, and they are some way behind. So they've got 3 months to sell an absolute ton of zero emission cars, and I'm not sure they're going to do it. And next year that target gets even worse. So yeah, they're going to start discounting enormous numbers of electric cars to meet these targets, as we've already discussed many times on the channel. But anyway, let's look at the power source breakdown for September 2024 versus September 2023. Diesel, the forbidden fuel, we don't talk about on the channel. No surprise to anyone. The market share has dropped from 6.9 to 6.4%. It's a 7.1% decrease in the number of cars registered, which has gone down from 19,000 to 17,500. Let's not dwell on that. Petrol, this is also a decrease. The market share was 55.7%. It's now 50%. That's a 9.3% change in terms of the number of registrations. It's gone down from 152,000 to 138,000. But given they're trying to sell as many of these zero emission cars as possible, not because anybody particularly says they want them, although there are many, many reasons why you want an electric car other than the price of it when it's new. They're just having to try to get rid of them any way they can. Yeah, I've driven some really good electric cars actually, some superb ones. I particularly enjoyed last year the MG4 X-Power. That's a really, really quick car for the money. Yeah, it's so funny seeing these figures and seeing that when we move on to the battery electric vehicles that actually do count towards a quota, we're still only on 20.5% of the market. So this month they've not even hit anywhere near their sort of target for the year. They're supposed to sell 22% on zero emission cars every month, and so yeah, it's not going to happen, is it, unless something radical changes. Mind you, the market share has increased a lot from 17% to 20.5%. Number of cars sold with battery electric propulsion only has gone up from 45,000 to 56,000, which is a 24.4% increase. Plug-in hybrids, more and more of these on the market now. I just drove two recently, the BYD Seal U and the MGHS, both brand new models. Market share in 2023 in September was 6.8%. It's now about 9%. That's a 32% increase. The number of cars sold has gone from 18,500 to 24,500. Hybrids, this is even more significant. I was looking forward to driving the new Suzuki Swift which is advertised as a hybrid, although it's really a mild hybrid. Unfortunately, at the last minute, I don't know why, but we weren't able to drive any Suzukis on the day that I was at the end of last month. So I drove two MGs, a Kia, a BYD, and a Ford. But anyway, yes, market share is roughly the same. It's about 14% in both cases, although the number of cars sold, because the market's up by about 1%, has gone up from about 38% to about 39%. Let's have a look at the differences between the private fleet and business sectors. The fleet market in this country is enormous. So last month, which is I think September and March, are the biggest 2 months for sales the year. The fleet segment made up 54% of the market. It was 53% last year, so we've had a slight increase. The private sector and the business sector are down. Business is very, very small in this country. It's about 2% at the moment. It's gone down very slightly from 2.4 to 2.1%. And the percentage change in sales is about 8% down. But that's only sort of 6,400 to 5,900 cars. Private sector has decreased very slightly. I think possibly the private sector is far less willing to take these electric cars if they don't want them. I mean, some people, I've got a friend of mine who's had electric cars since 2016, he's on his fifth one or something, and yeah, he loves them. They make a great case themselves in his point of view. Yeah, the technology is really exciting and things, but not everybody wants them. But anyway, 45% of the market was in September 2023. It's now 44%. Number of cars sold has gone down very slightly from 122,500 to 120,000, but it's not really significant. So let's look at what you actually clicked on the video for, the top 10 best-selling cars of last month. Not a lot of surprises here, really, although if I look at the figures to date, it's quite interesting that the Kia Sportage is very, very close behind the Ford Puma now. And indeed, in September, the Sportage outsold the Puma. It was actually number one spot, 7,500 cars. The Puma sold about 6,700 cars, second position. Then the Nissan Juke. I drove a Juke recently, and I don't know, there's so many other cars that I think are better than a Juke. It's okay. It's not the worst car that I've driven. I've driven far worse. But I just don't know why that particular car sells a lot more than a lot of the others. There's so many in that segment. Yeah, about 6,000. Then Hyundai Tucson, which is very similar to the Sportage, about 5,800. And then fourth equal with the Tucson is the Tesla Model Y, which sold exactly the same, about 5,800. Then was next to the Qashqai, no surprise there, about 5,200. Then the Volkswagen Polo, about 4,700. Volkswagen Tiguan, about 4,300. Then the Ford Kuga, 4,000. Then the Golf, 3,974. So almost 4,000, whereas the Cougar's just over 4,000. It's funny how the Golf is not really a major player on the market anymore. Neither is the Focus. Those cars aren't. The Astra's not. Very much these days, people want the SUVs. They occupy the top 6 spots at the moment since the Fiesta's gone. We'll look at Ford later and see how they're actually doing, but yeah, it's a surprising number of manufacturers are outselling them at the moment. So let's go to the individual brands. We always do a breakdown of this. So let's start with Stellantis, we always do, because there's 2 Stellantis brands right at the top of the list in alphabetical order. Abarth, not good. Got 2 marks actually from Stellantis, both on the same sort of market share at the moment, which is 0.07%. Both Abarth and Alfa Romeo are on the same. In one instance, Alfa Romeo, it's not really changed very much because they only sold 2 cars fewer than September 2023, 187 versus 189. Abarth's case, percentage change is not just 1% like Alfa Romeo down, it's 34%. I don't know why. I would have thought the new electric Abarth would be doing well, but not. Maybe people just want the old 1.4 multi-air ones. I think you can still just about get them, although they're not being made anymore. So yeah, market share was 0.11. It's now 0.07. Number of cars sold has gone down from 288 to 191. Alpine, not really much to say. They sold 40 cars last September, so 41 last month. Audi, now this is massive, far exceeding the number of cars that Ford have sold, for example. Yeah, it's still down on September 2023 by about 8%, but market share has gone from 6.7 to 6.3. Number of cars sold has gone from about 19,000 to 17,000. Bentley, for some reason they're down. I don't know why. Maybe people don't want really expensive cars anymore. So 43% decrease. Market share's gone from 0.05 to 0.03. Number of cars sold has gone from down to about 150 to 84. BMW, again, a very popular brand in this country. Very consistent. Almost exactly the same number of cars sold, about 12,500, and the market share is about 4.6% in both cases. BYD, build your dreams. I drove a BYD for the first time last month, and the review's up on the channel. It's for BYD CLU, which I don't think is a bad car. I just think it feels like a first effort. It feels like a sort of a draft of an essay. It's very nearly there. It just needs a bit of finishing off. So the ride and handling just hasn't been quite fixed enough for UK conditions, I think. Although the rest of the car it's honestly quite impressive. A lot of people say that they now prefer that to the MGHS plug-in hybrid. Well, I understand that. It depends really what your priorities are, because they're very similar in terms of market position and cost. Chevrolet, nothing in here at all, but just go to BYD again. 396% increase in registrations. It's got a lot more models on sale now. Number of cars sold has gone from 232 to 1150. Market share has increased from 0.09 to 0.42. See till then, so more Stellantis brands and more negative values here. Oh dear, right. 19% down. Market share has gone down from 1.8 to 1.4. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,800 to 3,900. Cupra, for some reason, doing pretty well. That's up by 16%. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,000 to 4,700. The market share has gone from 1.5 to 1.7. Dacia, outsold by Cupra. Dacia's a really big selling brand on the continent. I don't quite know why Dacia don't sell more cars over here. They make some really good cars, actually. I think the Sandero and the Jogger in particular are very competitive cars. I'd like to try Duster as well. I don't know if that'll happen soon, but I think that's also looks like a good car. Anyway, so last September they sold 3,400 cars. It's gone down very slightly to about 3,360. Market share remains very similar. It's about 1.2%. It was about 1.25 last year. It's a very slight decrease of about 2%. More Stellantis and more negative values from DS, who I'm not even sure a lot of people know sell cars in this country, actually. It's very small numbers, smaller than SsangYong, I think, or now KGM. Yeah, that's right, they are smaller than KGM, so it's a very small manufacturer. Minus 16%, market share has gone from 0.09 to 0.08. Number of cars sold has gone from 250 to 211. Fiat, probably the main Stellantis brand in many ways, gone from 1.1% of the market to 0.8, despite all these new models they're bringing out. And 29% down. Yeah, number of cars sold has gone from 3,100 to 2,200. I think what it is that some people have said they've stopped production temporarily of the electric Fiat 500 because they've got too many of them, and people aren't buying them. They are going to bring out a new 500 based on that platform with a combustion engine quite soon. Fisker, Zero, I don't know why it's on here. Ford. Now this is not particularly good reading for Ford. At the time, September 2023, the Fiesta was still available to buy in relatively large quantities. Production finished, I think, a couple of months before that, but you could still buy one, and they were a very big seller for many years. Now that doesn't exist, and the cheapest model is Puma. I have tested the new Puma, and the video will be on the channel very soon. It isn't already, and yeah, I'm not sure the changes they've made to the Puma this year are really the best idea. There's lots of really annoying things they've done, and I'm not surprised someone comes and sees a Puma and they think it's 30 grand, because the test car I had was an ST Line X automatic with the base engine, the 123 brake horsepower engine. that was £34,000 as tested. So yeah, you could buy a BYD CLU for less money than that particular test car, which I think is wrong. But you know, I don't know if I'm the most neutral opinion about that. Yeah, so they did sell 21,000 cars in September 2023. They just sold just under 16,000. So Audi have outsold them, and so have Kia, and so have loads of other people. Volkswagen just decimated them. Genesis, I like Genesis cars. I did have the opportunity to test some the other day, but I just don't think necessarily that you want to see sort of 40 to 60,000 pound cars on the channel that none of you can afford. I'd like to have one, but I can't afford one either. So there we go. But anyway, 30% up, which is good for them. Number of cars sold has gone from 119 to 155, and market share's gone from 0.04 to 0.06. Aura, the Aura 3, or formerly with Funky Cat, is not so good. I don't know whether they're going to introduce any new models, to be honest. Great Wall Motors, who are the brand behind Aura. 45% decrease. Market share's gone from 0.08 to 0.04. The number of cars sold has gone from 209 to 116. Honda, very, very good month for Honda. They've got the ENY1, the ZRV, the HRV, the Civic. Civic's a really, really good car. I'd love to try a Civic. HRV is also good. So up by 58%. Market share's gone from 1.2 to 1.8. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,200 to 5,000. Hyundai, also a very good month for them. They sold almost 15,000 cars. They're almost keeping up with Kia. They're almost outselling Ford, really. But up from about 12,000 cars last September. The number of cars sold is that. The market share has gone from 4.5 to 5.4, 20% increase. Ineos, not a brand I normally cover on here, but we will just for the sake of it. 61% decrease. Number of cars sold has gone from 155 to 61, and market share has gone from 0.06 to 0.02. Jaguar, not good. They are reducing the model portfolio to just the F pace. There are other stocks of other cars being sold, but only the F pace in production. That will end, I think, possibly by like 2025, when they replace all their cars with electric models, which I don't know whether that's a good idea or not. Maybe somebody can tell me. So yes, 10% down. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,000 to 1,800, and the market share has gone from 0.74 to 0.66. Jeep, bucking all the trends of the Stellantis brands. Is this just this Jeep Avenger or something, or is it something else? I don't know. The number of cars sold has gone up by 150%. It's gone from 516 to 1,300. And the market share has gone from 0.2 to 0.5. KGM, formerly SsangYong until January this year, 255 cars sold, just under 0.1% of the market. If you look at SsangYong from 2023, 274 cars sold, so slight decrease, which is a shame. Kia, now big hitter Kia. Let's have a look and see if Audi have outsold Kia or vice versa. Oh gosh, Kia have outsold Audi. Wow, that's one of the first times I've ever seen that. They're still on number one, that's probably Volkswagen, but that's really impressive. We love our Kias over here, and I source a lot of Kias for clients, and they are generally just excellent cars. They don't really need any sort of recommendation whatsoever. They are superb. But so tend to be sort of, I don't know, a little bit more friendly to UK taste, actually, the Kias rather than Hyundai. I think it's probably because of the 7-year warranty, whereas Hyundai don't give you that. So, number of cars sold has gone from 17,000 to 17,500. Market share's gone from 6.2 to 6.4%, and that's about a 4% increase. Land Rover, by contrast, from Jaguar, a huge month for them, huge month. 47% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 6,000 to 9,000, and the market share has jumped from 2.2 to 3.3%. Lexus, not the best, really. They're not a huge player in our market, unfortunately. The market share of 1.2 versus 1.1 last month. The number of cars sold has gone from 3,300 to 3,100, and the market share remains about 7%. Maserati, they make some exciting cars, but just the journalists quite like them, but nobody seems to want to buy them, which is a shame. They make good noises. So 90% decrease. Number of cars sold has gone from 84 to 68, and market shares dropped from 0.03 to 0.02. Mazda. Good news for Mazda, actually. I really like the fact they've kept the old Mazda 2 in production. You can buy the hybrid model that's based on a Toyota Yaris, but the old one's still going, and you can still buy it with a nice Suzuki manual. That's definitely one of the better Super Minis on sale, even if it's almost 10 years old now. 7% increase. Market share's gone from 2% to 2.1. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,500 to 5,900. Mercedes-Benz, who have, let's just check this, outsold Ford as well. They have. Mercedes-Benz and Audi now outsell Ford. There we go. So 14% increase. Market share's gone from 5.3 to 6%. Number of cars sold has gone from 14,500 to 16,500. MG, not a best month for MG. I don't know why. It's possibly because they've replaced the ZS and the HS at the same time, pretty much. And maybe they're just not coming on stream at the moment. The ZS and HS have been very popular for MG recently. 29% decrease. Market share has gone from 4.6 to 3.3%. Number of cars sold has gone from about 12,600 to about 9,000. Mini, they have also had a decrease. BMW outsells Mini by a huge margin over here. 11% down. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,500 to 4,900, and the market share has dropped from 2% to 1.8%. Nissan, despite having the Duke in the top three, the Qashqai a bit further down, they've decreased a bit. Not significantly though, about 5%. Number of cars sold has gone from 15,800 to 15,000. Market share has dropped from 5.8 to 5.5%. Yeah, Omoda, one of Chery's brands, I think JQ is coming soon. They've had a good first month. They're already at 0.4% of the market. They've registered 1,100 cars. Yeah, first month for them. Peugeot, another Stellantis brand, and a decrease. About 10% down. So market shares 3.4% to 3% last month. Number of cars sold has gone from 9,300 to 8,400. Polestar have had a very good month. Possibly about a new Polestar 4 I've seen advertised. I don't know really much about them, but you know, I know that they exist. 114% up. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,100 to 2,400. Possibly they registered loads of them because of this zero emission mandate. I don't know. Porsche 20% down. Market share has gone from 0.9 to 0.7. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,500 to 2,000. Renault, bit of a shame. They've had a very slight decrease, about 3.5%. Number of cars sold has gone from 8,000 to 7,800. Market share has gone down from 3% to 2.8%. I'd very much like to try the Austral and the Clio if I can, although it's difficult to get to Renaults for test, the new ones at the moment. I don't know why. Seat, very good, 9% up, 4,000 to 4,400. Market share has gone from 1.5 to 1.6%. The Arona is actually one of my favourite cars in that class. I know they've got this wet belt engine in them, so you've got to keep an eye on that cam belt. And also, the infotainment systems on the Arona and Ibiza are apparently quite bad, but they're actually quite nice cars. I would recommend them, as long as somebody's on top of the maintenance of them. I don't think they're that bad, actually. Skoda, though, is much more popular in this country, 32% up. Market share has gone from 3.2 to 4.2%. The number of cars sold has gone from 9,000 to 11,500. Superb. Smart, a big increase as well, 336%. I imagine that new, was it #4 models for now out. Market share has gone from 0.04 to 0.17. Number of cars sold has gone from 106 to 462. Subaru have had a bit of a renaissance. They have massively increased over the last year. Sorry, a couple of years. Not quite as good as last year. Their number of cars sold has gone from 552 to 366, but they're on about 0.1% of the market, as opposed to, I don't know, less than one a lot of the time it was. They were 0.2, and it's a 34% drop. Suzuki, despite that new Swift that's come out, and lots of other models which are good. The S-Cross is also good. It's a bit soft riding, but you know, not everybody likes the kind of firm edge to their driving. So number of cars sold has gone from 4,600 to 3,800. Market share has gone down from 1.7 to 1.4, and it's a 17% drop. Tesla, we've got a Model Y in the top 10, both so far this year and also this month. Gone from about 6,400 to 7,600. The boats literally come in with those cars in it, hasn't it? It's a 20% increase. Toyota, they are a very, very big brand over here. They are one of the top ones. I'll have to actually look at the list again and just see who's actually in the top 5. It could be Toyota's, not quite, but they are a really, really big force actually in this country, particularly because a lot of them are built over here, for Corolla, for example. So 1.8% increase. Market share's gone from about just under 6, just over 6. Number of cars sold's gone from 16,000 to 16,600. Vauxhall, not as good as Ford or Toyota. In fact, you know, Volkswagen outsell Vauxhall by a huge amount, so more than double now. So 31% decrease. Number of cars sold's gone from 13,400 to 9,300, and their market share's gone from 5% to about 3%, 3.4. Sorry, it was a massive force in the 90s. Now Vauxhall in this country. I don't know what's happened to them really. Volkswagen, by far the best-selling brand in this country. 23,000 cars sold. Up from last year, it was 22,300. Market share has just gone up from about 8.2% to 8.3%. It's a 3% increase. Volvo, my gosh, Volvo outsold Vauxhall last month. This goes to show that Volvo are a brand on the ascendancy over here. Being in the Volvo Owners Club, I'm not particularly surprised about that, but you know, I'm biased. So they sold 9,400 cars last month. Up from 6,600 last year. So essentially the market's gone up from 2.4 to 3.4. It's a 42% increase. And so it's just under 1% of an increase over last year, 275 versus 272,000. And those are the figures for September 2024. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and leave a comment below. And we shall see you next month for some more, I don't know, in-depth analysis and not particularly interesting musing.